Violent acts are shaking mainland China as payback shifts toward state officials. At a Politburo meeting, an official is arrested immediately. She pleads, "Don't touch your big sister-in-law." A Zambia toxic leak sparks anger, putting the China-Africa partnership to a huge test. A U.S. report unveils forced prison labor behind China's Christmas ornaments.
Thai confiscates over $300 million in assets from pig butchering boss Chen Ji. His global crime ring is crumbling. A Chinese couple shocks the web by having a blonde, blue-eyed child. Netizens are going crazy. Thanks for tuning in today. Every crucial detail you need is right here on China Crisis.
Constant violence rocks mainland China as revenge turns towards state officials. The resentment runs deep to the bone. A mainland resident told the Epoch Times openly that under harsh governance and a prolonged economic downturn, mainland China appears to be entering its most sensitive stage. Fear has faded, leaving only accumulated resentment. Since late 2025, retaliatory acts have shifted away from random social strangers and begun targeting government authorities and officials. It's a clear sign that an underground fire has reached the roots of the system. 3 illustrative incidents highlight this shift. On November 30th in Chenzhou, Hunan, a fireworks shop owner who had endured years of local extortion triggered an explosion at his store, hurling several cars into the air and injuring 3 people. On November 24th, a man drove his vehicle straight into the Beihai Municipal Party Committee compound in Guangxi before being stopped by an armed patrol. And on July 5th in Shaoguangdong, the party branch secretary of Gu Village was fatally stabbed following a forced demolition dispute. Overseas human rights lawyer Wu Xiaoping commented that people have been stripped of their freedoms while unemployment is widespread and the burdens of living are crushing. When they realize that all their suffering stems from the ruling system itself, their anger naturally turns toward the governmental machinery. At the same time, a series of accidents and fires have erupted across the country, signaling a society on the brink. On December 1st, a massive blaze on North Industrial Avenue in Guangzhou engulfed dozens of electric vehicles. Between November 29th and 30th, major fires broke out at a Chengdu logistics warehouse and a Wuling-Xiang industrial park. On November 27th, 9 fishing boats burned at Qiaogang Port in Beihai. Also on November 27th, 2 fatal railway accidents occurred within hours, one in Sichuan killing 2 maintenance workers, and one in Kunming killing 11 construction workers. These numbers no longer resemble isolated accidents, but rather reflect a system eroded from governance to workplace safety. A local named Zhao Mai remarked that chaos is everywhere, and everyone can see how rotten the system has become. Another resident stated bluntly that people are simply waiting for a trigger. What the CCP fears most is a single spark capable of igniting a vast field of dry grass. When people have nothing left to lose, they cease to fear losing more. The rising confrontations and the chain of escalating incidents all seem to send a single message. The fire has already been lit. Only the wind is missing, and that wind is growing stronger by the day. At a Politburo meeting, someone is arrested on the spot. On the morning of December 1st, 2025, the PLA Daily placed a stark message on its front page. Use real knives and real guns and deliver real results. The true signal of the coming shock lay in the Politburo meeting on November 28th. That evening, Xinwen Lianbo unexpectedly aired no live footage. According to multiple sources in Beijing, inside the Red Wall, the military intervened directly in a Politburo meeting, resulting in a sitting member being taken away on the spot. The meeting focused on inspection reports under Li Shi's authority. Normally, his name would be mentioned, but this time Li Shi's name vanished entirely. To analysts, this meant the procedural system Li controlled had been disabled instantly, with another force seizing control, the military. Inside Beijing's inner circles, accounts agree that 1. Ma Xingrui did not truly attend the meeting that morning, and 2. The military was the force that acted. Zhang Yoxia reportedly brushed aside Xi Jinping's suggestion to follow procedure and instead delivered a chilling characterization. Corruption in the military-industrial system directly affects combat readiness. This is treason. That single sentence flipped the entire case. Li Shi was stripped of control over the dossier, and the case shifted instantly from party discipline to military law. Moments later, a special operations team from the Military Discipline Commission entered the room. Witnesses describe Ma Xingri being lifted by two operatives and dragged halfway off the ground like a wounded soldier. This marks the first time in PRC history that a sitting Politburo member was taken away by the military during a high-level meeting. Yet, the most jarring detail was the reaction attributed to Xi Jinping. Instead of lashing out, he reportedly appeared shaken, pulled Li Shi aside, and warned, "You must watch this carefully. Make absolutely sure your sister-in-law isn't implicated." Sister-in-law refers to Peng Li Yuan. Since Ma Xingrui is deeply connected to networks said to intersect with hers, this remark suggests Xi shifted from supreme leader to a patriarch protecting his family. The military has sent its own message, and China's political establishment has clearly felt its impact. Meanwhile, a Zambia toxic leak sparks outrage. That headline, born from a BBC bombshell on December 3, 2025, has become the symbol of a continent refusing to stay silent. It began in February 2024 when a tailings dam at Cinemetals Leach, Zambia collapsed in the Copperbelt province. Up to 1.5 million tons of waste laden with arsenic and mercury flooded into the Kafue River. Nearly 2 years later, fields are still bleached white and children suffer malnutrition. Dr. Muina Himinga of Copperbelt University warns that these toxins do not degrade and will poison the soil for decades. The human face of the disaster is unbearable. 28-year-old Abigail Nanto holds her emaciated daughter, whispering that the land no longer forgives them. China is Zambia's economic lifeline. Yet, in September 2025, 176 farmers filed an $80 billion class action lawsuit accusing CNMC of gross negligence. So far, the company has offered only pocket change compensation in exchange for signing away future rights. As the U.S. courts Zambia for critical cobalt reserves, Lusaka has found unexpected courage. Environment Permanent Secretary Dr. Dedudi Chibomba stated flatly, "We will not go easy on them. Owing them money is irrelevant." What started as an environmental catastrophe has become the defining test of a new era. Chinese investment can no longer purchase African acquiescence. The verdict in this $80 billion case will tell us whether China must finally change its African playbook. A U.S. report exposes forced prison labor behind China's Christmas ornaments. On December 1, 2025, Huang Kui, a former Tsinghua University PhD candidate, detailed his 5 years of forced slave labor within CCP prisons solely for practicing Falun Gong. Mr. Huang Kui revealed that the primary labor product for export was holiday decorations. He described the intensity as a living hell, working 18 hours a day. Prison guards explicitly told inmates that these items with English labels would be exported to the United States. The most disturbing revelation concerns food processing. Prisoners were forced to shell pistachios using large pliers. Mr. Huang recounted, "Our sweat, tears, blood, and pus all seeped into these nuts. Driven to fury, some prisoners even used urine to soften the hard shells before peeling them." This issue poses a grave threat to international public health. Huang Kui's testimony provides irrefutable evidence of the CCP's slave labor system penetrating the global supply chain. It serves as a clear warning that goods filling homes during the holidays may be acquired through the blood and tears of prisoners. On December 3, 2025, Thai police raided 50 locations, confiscating real estate and luxury goods. Chen Ji transformed Prince Holding Group into one of Asia's largest criminal organizations, where victims were kidnapped to scam compounds in Sihanoukville to execute pig butchering frauds. The syndicate laundered proceeds through Thai nominees. Coordinated actions by the US, UK, Taiwan, and Singapore have now frozen billions in assets worldwide. For the first time, a leading syndicate boss is being targeted simultaneously across continents, signaling the collapse of this transnational network. Finally, a Chinese couple stuns the internet by giving birth to a blonde, blue-eyed baby. Recently, in Jiangsu province, a couple welcomed a baby girl with striking golden hair and bright blue eyes. It was only after a DNA test that they realized the child's great-great-grandfather had been Russian. The father explained that around 8 months old, her eyes shifted to blue and her hair turned blonde. Her distinctive features were the result of atavism, a latent ancestral gene unexpectedly resurfacing. The story quickly ignited discussions online. One netizen wrote, "There are similar cases in northeast China. If a great-grandparent was Russian, sometimes those features suddenly reappear." Another shared that a friend's granddaughter looked just like her Soviet great-grandmother, despite the parents looking completely Chinese. Let us know your thoughts. Leave a comment below. If you found value in this episode, please share it with others. Don't forget to click like and subscribe for more insightful episodes from China Crisis.